Okay, this is a song about a gentleman who was part of a fundamentalist group in Manti. He was the leader of a group, and fundamentalist in the Utah sense, meaning that they believed in the old polygamist teachings, and they'd broken away from the Mormon church. And he came up to Salt Lake and lived, and my friend Rick Sutterberg worked at a hotel, and he met this gentleman at Weller's bookstore in the basement, and they had a few talks together. He said, "Oh, you're the guy that brings up the meals." And they didn't talk a lot, but they met in the religious section of the used books at Weller's bookstore. And later, Rick Sutterberg witnessed, I think, the last two children being pushed off out of the hotel. I commissioned this from Rick Sutterberg when he was working at the Salvation Army in Ogden. He had an alcohol problem on and off for years and years. He was on and off the wagon. He's finally been off for many years. But anyway, I wrote the music, Rick wrote the words. I paid him for it. My name is Rick Sutterberg. I have a story, a tragedy I witnessed one summer day. It was August the 7th of '78. Let me tell you about it in my simple way. I was working, you see, as a room service waiter at a splendid hotel from 2 until 10. Taking mighty fine meals to the rooms where the guests stayed, making mighty fine tips that night I could spend. Son of a Martin, there was an odd fellow who stayed at the hotel with a family, and sometimes he'd stay there for weeks. And each night he would order up steaks from the kitchen, and they all lived like royalty in that big suite. He was big as an ox, and he wore a fine three-piece, big ponytail, pricey cowboy boots. And he told me his name was Immanuel David, and sometimes they'd talk about spiritual books. It was August the 7th of '78. I was walking to work, not a block from the job, when I noticed that something was causing commotion, 'cause surrounding the hotel was a throng of a mob. I looks up to see what the hell was stirring, and finally I spots it there just where it was. Up there on the 8th floor on the balcony I heard Immanuel David's wife telling her son. She cried, "Heave-ho, children, let's go. It's curtains for me and for thee. Heave-ho, children, let's go. With daddy to tea." I stood there in shock as my mouth became bone dry. 'Cause all I could do not to break down and weep. As the wife of that big oxy Immanuel David threw all of her children off, and then she leaped. It came out next day in the deserted news. Immanuel David was a king of the cult, and from Manti he'd come with his worshippers tithing. I suppose those believers all got quite a jolt. It seemed they believed he was this only one true prophet. His followers thought he was one step from God, and he made damn sure they all lived a sheltered existence. And he gassed himself one night and died like a slob. His wife found out the next day Immanuel David had to give in the ghost by cheap suicide. And she just couldn't stand it, and so she decided the very best thing would be if she just died. She also expected the kids had to die too. They looked up to their cause, the all in all. But I surely do swear they were fighting for dear life. But Mama would not let the kiddies hang on. They cried, "Heave-ho, children, let's go. It's curtains for me and for thee. Heave-ho, children, let's go. Meet daddy in eternity." Rachel, the Mama and Joseph and the Deborah, Joshua and Dushane, Rebecca and there was one brave young girl named Elizabeth David who lived and is now big in the cult, I've been told. It turned out that weeks later Immanuel David was just worried sick over all the money he'd blown. And the guilt that he felt in the face of his followers pushed him over the edge. Where he's gone, I don't know. Immanuel David, a prophet and idol, but with feet made of clay. Immanuel David, oh, what did you think when you heard your wife say? She cried, let's go. It's pardons for me and for thee. Children, let's go. Meet death in the land of the free. I've told you the story, it leaves me quite cold. Ain't it true that this world is as strange as can be? And if you should ever think of deceiving somebody, remember Immanuel David for me.